I think it's very sad when people don't see anything wrong with putting unnecessary pressure on people to perform, and people feel like they have to kill themselves when they don't make certain grades. I think it's very sick that somebody who is called a professor thinks that it's okay for people to kill themselves when they don't make a certain grade. That's the reason why I had written something talking about execution by paper. There was a book that was written called Execution by Starvation. But my point is, just look at how schools have destroyed the family unit. Just look at the number of deceivers in there, and the sexual reprobates that have molested children. That's just absolute filth. And I mean, I could sit there and go to BibleHub.com and put down "Forgive Wicked." It doesn't come up with that at all. And then so basically, when people end up speaking out against what's going on, then they get retaliated against and physically assaulted and stuff by the modern day Roman centurions and kidnapped. It's like, how dare you speak out against the wicked crap that's going on inside the schools? But once again, that they can take their self-written immunity from being prosecuted to the judge when the judge decides where they're going to end up going for eternity. I mean, basically, there's a time that kind of like I got to wash my hand of the situation. I've talked out against so much stuff that basically I almost feel like it's a Monty Python movie. Look at a Monty Python movie and just look at the poor guy running around like, oh crap, they're after me again. But it was kind of funny to end up. I need to find that. Hold on. Actually, I'm not gonna bother doing that. Uh, some guy comes up and comes galloping up and says he's king somebody, and the guy's like, "You're what?" But sometimes humor is a way to relieve things when you just look at the absurdity of what they're talking about. It's like, I mean, it's just like they can't sit there and show me where they produce the dirt that the ground is made out of. And that's just it. That's the reason why James Strong is just, he's so full of crap. To sit there and define God as being a magistrate, I'm like, oh. Since when did any judge or magistrate sit there and create the dirt that the land or the ground is made out of? I'm just like, oh, God. I mean, but and they're gonna, they can sit there and put on their robes and their costumes and their, continue their masquerade party and do whatever, but they're only deceiving themselves as far as stuff goes. They really are. They're deceiving themselves. And same thing with the ones that are protecting the rapist and intentionally let the rape kit sit in the shelves instead of prosecuting the rapist and the other crap that they've done. I mean, it's just like, same thing with the ones acting stupid when I brought out the thing from the Rockefeller Institute and basically said I wanted anybody and everybody at the Rockefeller Institute arrested for premeditated crimes. That was back in 2010. Oh, it only had the word pandemic in it. 12 years ago. But I mean, basically, as soon as I found out about that, I went to the meeting as soon as I could. And I went ahead and made copies of things to go ahead and hand to the. I mean, it's just like, I'm not a cop. There's no way for me to sit there and prosecute the ones at the Rockefeller Institute. I mean, it's just like, I mean, just think about the crap. And there's a woman that's a what is she? I think a neurologist or some kind of medical doctor. And she ended up writing something dealing with some sort of study that was showing that the masks are causing irreversible brain damage. I mean, and the whole idea of the Hippocratic Oath was to do no harm. So when I think about what Fauci and them are doing, it's like they're knowingly harming people, and that's where it's wicked, and that's where him Fauci writing up his immunity from being prosecuted and pretending like he's so great when he's not, and just because he's a Jesuit and all that kind of crap. It's just like, well, but basically, he can explain that to the real judge when the real judge comes to go ahead and basically hold him accountable for doing wicked. Same thing with the ones who sat there and protected him or who enabled the wicked. I mean, it's just like when I was retaliated against for speaking out against the crap that happened. I mean, it's just like, but it's like, I've done what I can do dealing with this stuff. I'm not in a position to be able to stop wicked. And it's just like the one sitting there and doing stuff. It's like, well, dang. I mean, it's just like, I mean, and I was reading some stuff in Jude chapter 1 and stuff. It's like, I'd much rather have a soul than be soulless. I'd much rather not be wicked. I'd much rather have the ability to cry than have to hold an onion up to my eyes to have crocodile tears. And that's what and that's part of the reason why I was talking about real men are strong enough to cry, to shed genuine tears. I mean, but that also deals with when Jesus was on earth the first time. Shortest Bible verses, Jesus wept. Oh, I mean, I wonder if that's the real reason why they were after Jesus. That makes sense. I mean, Jesus, there's and it's just like Jesus healed on the Sabbath. Okay, oh, excuse me, today's the Sabbath. You can't heal somebody, and I'm just like, excuse me. I mean, it's just like, I mean, think about that. The next time somebody goes to a medical doctor or the emergency room on Saturday or Sunday, I don't care which day you want to choose as being your Sabbath, but because to me that's a form of legalism. But just go ahead and look at that and just go, oh dang, I can't go to a medical doctor and have my hand stitched up, even though I might be bleeding to death because today's the Sabbath. I mean, think about the absurdity of that. Or I'm going to sit here and bleed to death while I wait for a cab to pick me up because I'm not allowed to get myself to the hospital, even though I have a way to get there. But because today's the Sabbath, I mean, just think about the absurdity of that stuff. Yeah, that's just it. It's just like, I mean, no wonder people are just so. But I mean, why would anybody be attracted to going into a church when you got some thug like Todd Bentley taking a steel-toed boot and kicking somebody in the head, or you got Copeland sitting there and hitting a man over in a wheelchair, and physically assaulting him while his Masonic buddies refused to prosecute Copeland. I mean, just think about that. I mean, if the obvious isn't just screaming at people that the churches are the deception and to get out of them and to really listen to "Come out of her, my people," and to put two and two together and realize that the her that it's referring to, "Come out of her, my people," is talking about the churches. I'm like, sorry, can't help. Can't help. I just, seems like the porch light's on and nobody's at home.